meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
ايوه نروح الركاب. ندخلوا من شرق الدير، دير ماسك تاع الصقر. ادخل.
What is this? Have you not been taught to knock? I've asked 1,000 times.
حاجة قعركي كاملة.
My dear child.
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition.
Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice. You remind me so much of your father.
فكرك
I miss him so.
بزوجك.
Today is the big day, isn't it? Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill.
Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering.
وراها الجزيرة
One
ما
thing
نروحوا لها.
brings me cheer. They say the island is full of miracles, and we might find a cure.
Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to...
I know.
تلسكوب
But
القديم.
it brings me comfort that to know my son has left on a mission to heal his people. Come now. It is time for you to take leave. Here. Take this with you.
What is it?
A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck.
تاع الحظ هذا.
My blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
Kurt? It's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're right. Maybe he's already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be quite the chore to finish before our departure. The commander wants to recover some merchandise from our supplier, but the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then. We'll put it on our list of visits.
ايش هي ذي الحياة؟ هاي بشوية نكتشف الأمور صح. هذا سهلين نخدمو به. advanced.
Greenblood, do you need something?
I must leave you.
هذا تشريم عنده سوالح.
Greenblood, do you need something?
I wondered if you ever felt lonely.
I always do. Why, do you want to rectify this?
And what if I said yes?
Well, I'd be grateful, I suppose. But sadly, Greenblood, you're not quite my type. Anything else?
I must leave you.
نتبعوا هذه اجري. هنا مكان ولا صح؟ هذا هنا. منها. شفت حاجة. تدي هنا صناديق صح. هنا.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, I have been told that you were named legate. Congratulations. Those are great responsibilities for someone as young as yourself. But you will bring honor upon your family and the congregation. Of that I'm certain.
I thank you, Excellency. I've come here to inform you of our departure for Tearfredin. My cousin Constantine is about to take up office as governor of New Serene, and I'm accompanying him.
I had no idea you would be leaving so quickly. What a shame. I had thought... Well, then, that is a pity. Have a pleasant voyage. A brilliant future awaits you. They say that it is a marvelous island. Please convey to your cousin my congratulations and sincere wishes for success.
You seem slightly hesitant. Please, tell me what troubles you.
A rather unscrupulous individual has been sowing trouble in Serene.
لا تهنينا وهي كلمة على المغامرات انتهى
Do people
والرحلات.
actually give credence to these lies?
Alas, yes. They snatch up his celebrated panacea. Remedies worse than the ill, believe me. As you can well imagine, alchemists are our pride. This vulgar trickster casts dirt upon their reputation and our own at the same time. In any city of the Bridge Alliance, we would have arrested him. But here, we respect your laws.
I shall see what I can do, but make no promises. My departure is imminent.
I thank you, Excellency. And I am pleased to see you have taken so well to your new functions of diplomacy. The man operates in the city center. He is said to be clever and mean. Be careful.
Ask about.
Would you be so kind as to tell me what you know about the Bridge Alliance?
With pleasure. A legate needs to know the history and strengths of his allies. The alliance was sealed by several nations of the Bridge around 200 years ago. The greatest of our cities, Al-Saad, became the capital, and a council formed from the different nations now rules. This union was originally put into place to better resist the appetites for conquering our neighbors. But our ancestors quickly realized that the union had also strengthened us economically and culturally. And of course, exchanges in knowledge were strongly encouraged from the outset. Today, it is by no means an overstatement to claim that the Bridge Alliance leads our world in science and exploration. Each day, we push the limits of our understanding further in each and every domain.
Could you give me your understanding of the relations between the congregation and the Bridge?
Our relations hang essentially on the quality of our trade and commerce. The exchanges are very profitable, especially on the cultural front. I will not hide from you that we have hoped you would join our number for quite some time. But your princes insist on maintaining a neutral stance between the congregation and the other nations on the continent. It is by all means a respectable position, even if it means you also trade with our enemies.
The Bridge Alliance has been on Teofredi for much longer than we have. What can you tell me?
It is true that we founded Hikmet, our newest city, around 15 years ago now. Alas, I haven't been able to go there myself. I can only tell you what others have reported to me. It is a luxurious island. An enormous dead volcano thrones in its center. The vegetation is extremely varied, and the fauna wondrous. We discovered animals that we had never ever seen before. Some are bigger than houses. But they're not the only occupants of the island. A savage and crude people also live there, who speak an incomprehensible language. But you shall discover all of this for yourself soon enough.
And what of your war with Ptolemy?
It has been dragging on. In fact, it has been dragging on for years. It is madness. If those bigots hadn't gotten it in their heads to convert the entire continent, we wouldn't be in this situation. But that's the way of the world. We shall not waver, whether here or on Teofredi.
Have you been fighting battles there as well?
From what I've been told, Ptolemy has wisely and tastefully built their colony far from our city. Direct conflicts are in fact quite rare. But one day they will inevitably take place.
Ouais, c'est bon.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
هذا غادي نجيبوه. زين كاين واحد اخر ها شوفوا هذا.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tirfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it. And perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The
عمك هو اللي راح
prince would
يديرها صح.
indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your
ردة
heretics are
الأعداء
planning on boarding a ship,
مدينة
it
الأعداء.
must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do.
عمار هذه المشاكل حاول يسيطر على الجزيرة ولا على المدينة. No more question. لا مزيد من
I must be
الأسئلة.
going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sardet.
يا خلونا الآن فتحوا هذه وتبعوا هذه. صح.
The merchant is there.
تبالي بلي غادي نقلبوا القاربية ونعطوها هذا الشهوة هذا هنايا أسلحة.
Good day, good sir. How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refused to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
وعندك
This is
أسلحة.
inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent. And I'm only obeying orders.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendants seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
باش عطينا
Following
السلاح.
orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing
نقلب
me to
الماستر تاعك
madness. You
نقعره.
understand now why I'm asking for your help?
Between offer.
I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lord de Sardet, nephew of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion, theft. You know as well as I that the Congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That is a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise, without delay. Unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
As you request, my lord. I shall go immediately and ask that these crates be delivered to the attendant.
Now that's a wise decision.
Thank you. I was beginning to think this would never end. You're certainly honoring your new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be...
Don't you worry now. You'll get your merchandise.
ما عنديش سلاح منه. هيا روحي. هذا شنو هو؟ يشمع منه صح. قاربي والسفينة ونعطوه.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
يساعدنا هذا.
What will be your official title on Tier Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, and also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master.
leave.
I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
هيا نذهب إلى السفينة.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life.
Okay. راحت عليه.
There are some children we'd be best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
سفينة وليست قارب.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew
كل شيء
member.
جاهز طبعا.
The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
أسئلة بزاف.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Teleme has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouses. We of course refused entry. Only the Nords have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
قال نقول هذا كابن بوي هو اللي يساعدنا.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
نحوسوا عليه. نحوس على هذا كيبن بوي مش يسموه.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay. Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, sir.
I regret I don't have the sum you're asking for.
Either you repair them, or you reimburse their cost. Or I keep what I know about your cousin to myself.
That's ridiculous. He could reimburse you easily. He's quite a rich man.
Perhaps, but a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And as for promises, I've heard enough to fill an ocean.
Very well. I will see what I can scavenge in that case. How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Teofredi.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
The furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
I could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
شو نديرو؟
could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, sir.
I regret I don't have the sum you are asking for.
Either you repair them, or you reimburse their cost. Or I keep what I know about your cousin to myself.
مع conversation.
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but the Malicor and the neighbouring wars. The epidemics. Now that we have a city.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
People stopped going out. And then, thankfully, the Elk people were still distant. I also lost quite... No, but that's nothing new to...
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Tearfredi.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
شيء هذي صحة. يبي لك الدراهم شو نديرو هنا.
Hello, sir.
عاونونا شوية دراهم اللي بغيتو. شو دير انت هنايا؟ عطينا القصر، عطينا هنايا الحياة خالية ومخروبة وانتم عطينا القصر هنا متحشموش.
Repair this if I had some metal dowels. Locked. Locked.
Locked, yeah. لازم هذوك الفوق. هادو اللي راه يلقط فيهم مانيش عارف علاش يدير بيهم، يبني بيهم ولا مانيش عارف يخلص بيهم ولا مانيش عارف. خصنا نلقطوهم ليا. شو دير انت هنا؟ هاي واحدة هنا. دخل السيف معه. دخل السيف. هاك. في بالي لقيناها نمدوها لها نمشي نديرو. شوف هذا اللي قاعد يقولنا لوكد لوكد.
Locked.
نحلها صح. حل. فيني من ولا من؟ صح. لازم ندخلو من.
Sir Desade, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes, we were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 4D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.